All
All
right, so I started the focus of this YouTube channel right now is I get 2 to 10 messages every month from people who are not in the Permian Basin who want to move to the Permian Basin. Friends from California or just people on LinkedIn. They send me all the time. What's it like? How do you make it? And since I moved to Midland, Texas 5 years ago, I thought I'd make a couple of videos with a couple other people who moved here from other places, talking about what it's like, how they got here, and what the work is like, what the housing is like, and that kind of stuff. So this is my friend Victor, and he's from Los Angeles, and that's what we're going to discuss today. How you doing?
Doing great.
Awesome.
Great.
You just got off shifts?
When was it? Sunday night, Monday morning. Yes, just that was my last day.
And how many days did you work in a row?
14 days straight.
14 12s.
Uh-huh.
Did you stay at the rig or did you go home each night?
I was coming home every single night, man.
Coming home. And
Yeah.
where are you drilling at?
Right now, probably west from Andrews. 20 miles from Andrews, south around there.
And what's your job on the rig right now?
Right now as a motor hand.
A motor hand?
Yeah, motor hand.
What do you do as a motor hand?
Pretty much in charge of the all motors, maintenance, keeping up with inventory, tools, or any inventory that needs to be ordered
On a drilling rig.
on a drilling rig.
Shallow well drilling rig.
Yeah, that drilling rig, yes, I'm doing shallow wells.
So how long ago did you move to Midland, Texas?
How long ago? Let's say 2012. It's been about 6 years now. 6
And you
years.
came from LA?
Los Angeles, San Fernando Valley.
What were you doing in LA?
What was I doing, man? Just
Cooking?
cooking, family business, pretty
Family
much.
business.
It was family business, so I pretty much that was it. Cooking, and my last job before cooking was 7-Eleven convenience store.
Nice. And how did you hear about the Permian Basin, West Texas, Boomtown, Midland,
Uh-huh.
oil? How did you hear about all this that's going on
So-
out here?
So my dad brought me to Texas, and Andrews was the first city that I arrived at from California, and still didn't know what oil field was. I had no clue about it. I just came here for a restaurant business. That's it. So I started hearing more about it when truckers just stop by, customers, and I hear more about it, but I never paid attention to it at all
Yeah.
till about maybe a year or two later.
Okay.
That's when I started asking questions and what is this oil field about? Who gets paid the most? And
How did you get your first job in the oil business? In the
so,
oil field?
so first job, that's when I got interested in the oil field because I kept hearing about, they make good money and pretty good pay and, hours, especially hours. So from a restaurant, probably from 40 hours a week, my uncle's restaurant to an oil field, that's what I wanted, an upgrade. So I started applying at different companies. I had no idea, no clue, no experience, but I
Okay.
started applying at every company that I just seen around my area where I lived at. So probably like 2 mile radius around there. So which was Pro Petro. I had a Schlumberger. I don't know, a couple other companies, but near me, that's where I started applying.
And what was your first? How did you get your first job? What was your first job out there?
So I remember I applied, and within a week I got a phone call, about the interview or whatnot. And the thing was that I didn't have experience, so I would just try to convince them, like, look, I have no experience, but try me out, give me a shot, and I won't disappoint you. I'm a hard worker, fast paced. I give them a little talk.
Bust ass.
Uh-huh. And they were sort of convinced. The first guy was kind of convinced, but he needed somebody with experience, and he let me know he'll save my number and he'll give me a call later on.
Okay.
And second week, same thing. Third week was my first boss in the oil field,
Called
which was
you?
called me, and
Did you do your interview at the rig?
no, it was on the
in the
phone,
office?
pretty much on the
On the
phone,
phone,
on
huh?
the phone, because I went to this company, Pro Petro, and they have a list, and you just sign your name up and your phone number, and I guess drillers stop by in the
Okay.
evenings and call wherever they are interested
When
in.
they need a hand.
Uh-huh.
And so they give you a call.
And you
You
just
got your first date.
uh-huh.
Did they send you to training first, or did you have to do anything pre-hand?
So yeah, training.
Training.
Yeah, they sent me to training first. I remember I had a phone call with him that night, And I convinced him. I told him to give me a shot, and he was like, okay. And all right, go to the shop tomorrow and tell him my name, the rig number, and you'll be taken care of. So I went, and they start sending me to the safety classes, and you know.
Yeah, it's like safety, H2S. What are
to get certified forklift certifications.
Forklift certified. They give you steel-toed boots, or do you have to get those yourself?
You have to get those yourself.
What about
hard hats?
Hard hat, RF clothes.
So hard hats, fire resistant clothes. Yeah, they give you that. FRCs, gloves, safety glasses. Boots, you have to buy those on your own. There's other companies that do provide those, but not.
So then you get a date, and you drive your own car out to the middle of nowhere where there's a drilling rig.
Yeah, that's what happened. I remember if I got hired, it was cool, you know. And it was a bunch of guys that showed up that day, and a lot of them didn't get hired. I guess they didn't have a rig number, but I had a rig number, so that's what got you necessarily hired. Right. And I remember just calling back the driller, and he told me to meet him at a certain spot, and he picked me up.
What do they have, like coordinates, GPS coordinates or something?
GPS coordinates, because these rigs are out in the middle of nowhere. So there might be a couple of intersections, highway intersections, but from there, that's when the coordinates come in. Like, okay, you're gonna take this lease road and this other lease road.
And would you use your Google phone or something? Google Maps. Okay.
Google Maps, and they have pretty good directions. You know, like 2.4 miles, turn right. Okay. And then you just have to stick with it because you can't get lost.
Your first day. You got your coordinates, you got your fire suit on, you got your H2S little thing clipped on. Yes. You drive out there, you've never done this before.
Never done this before.
And what did they have you do the first day?
So I remember like coming, it's
clean the bathrooms?
No. No, porta potties. They have no bathrooms out there. No bathrooms. So it's kind of funny, you know, coming from like cooking to straight drilling rigs. Right. And how you mentioned that I had my FRCs and everything on. Yes, like a new guy. Yeah. Usually everybody goes in regular clothes and changes out at the rig. Okay. But me, I had my FRCs.
Ready
boots.
To go.
Yeah, and the boss was kind of aggravated. Like, hey, where's your regular clothes? He's like, well, how are you going to get in my truck? So that's when that's when I got more experience little by little. But first thing I did was now that I know what it's called, the shakers, all that waste coming out the hole. Okay. We had to shovel it because it was getting clogged, all the cuttings from down the hole coming back out.
So as it's drilling down, there's
cuttings.
There's material coming back out.
Coming back out. So that's the first thing that told me to do.
A waste chute or something? A shaker?
Reserve. Goes out to the reserve.
Okay. And that's what you're cleaning?
Yeah, I remember.
So how many jobs have you done out there now? So that was how many years? 4 years ago?
That was 2014.
4 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. That's
so how many different jobs have you done out on the rig now?
So I went from I started at when the oil boom dropped back in 2014. Right. I was there for 9 months only, and we did several wells with that. I did several wells with that company. I don't know, 29 months, something like that. It was shallow wells.
That's one thing that I noticed here about West Texas. When I've been here 6 years now, and there was a huge boom. And when did that end? 14?
In 14.
At the end of 14?
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah, the oil, when I first moved here, I think it spiked to like 120 or 130, but it was over 100.
Oh, yeah.
And then it went down to like $80 a barrel for 6 months, but then it just crashed out to 20.
20, yeah.
West Texas, Permian Basin, Midland, Odessa, kind of became a ghost town.
Oh, yeah.
You pull up to a stoplight and there's no cars. Whereas right this minute in the current boom, if you drive up to any stoplight, you're going to have 30 or 40 cars deep, 3 lanes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like...
Or 2 lanes.
Yeah, or 2 lanes. It's like LA right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So the city seems like Midland, at least, that's where I live, it goes from like 100,000 people when it's not booming to 300,000 when it's booming.
And it's progressively growing month by month. If the jobs keep staying busy, like companies.
So when the oil boom, so when the bottom fell out of oil last time, you went back to cooking.
I went back to cooking, but I did go. Well, yeah, right away I did go back to cooking because I had no experience. I was right. And in 9 months, I did not really get to learn much, or usually if you want to get hired, you have to have like 5 years plus experience, and you do get hired when the boom is down. And if they're still busy, but I didn't have enough experience, so I went back to cooking for about a year.
When it picked back up, I know that you went back. How you got back out the second time was through rig wash. What's rig wash? I never understood what that was.
So rig wash is
what is rig wash?
It's a small company, and they it's like
there's a lot of rig washes.
Yeah, there's a lot of rig wash. Okay, so I guess that company had rig wash and had CDT, which is casing drift and tally, which they measure those casing
Okay.
pipes that go in the well after
Yeah.
you're done drilling, and they stay in the well.
Right.
It's like hold the wall pretty much.
Yeah.
And they also do rig wash, CDT, and
Did they actually wash the rigs? Is that what they're doing?
So yeah, we
Okay.
wash the rigs. I wash the rigs, and especially the
It's
pits.
like a mobile detailer
Yeah.
for a rig company.
Uh huh.
Because I always thought that's a good way to get into the, like if someone wanted to move to West Texas and had no experience, that's a good way to get in.
Uh huh.
So those rig wash guys, they're going to every single rig around.
Yep.
Right? Yeah.
And stay real busy, and you're talking about 18-hour shifts. I mean, however long it takes to wash the rig, and especially the pits. That's the main job you have to do.
So now you're back on a drilling rig, actual job,
Yeah.
not on a. That's what, like, I guess so. So every rig will have dozens of contractors that come out and do stuff.
Yes.
Rig wash is one of them. What's the other one where the guys just come and clean the ground? I forgot what they call it. Roustabouts.
Roustabouts, yeah.
Roustabout crews, because we have them where I work. They'll come and just clean the tank farm, clean up the trash,
Okay.
get rid of the weeds. They just clean it up. Because I think most of these rigs are on leased land, or there's a landowner. So you're going out and you're drilling on some guy's ranch. You're going out and drilling on some guy's piece of property. And so they don't want the trash flying around and shit like that. So they have roustabout crews come out and clean. Rig washes come out and clean. It's pretty cool.
Or if they need help with anything else, if the company man that hires the roustabout crew, like, hey, we're short-handed over here, go.
Yeah, that's what I
hand.
mean. It's a good way to get in with the drilling managers because you're going to be out there on site in the middle of nowhere. So if he needs anybody to do anything else, they grab those guys too, right? Nice. So what do you think? Do you want to move up and become a driller, an actual driller?
Right now, I kind of do want to become a driller.
Yeah.
Because I'm noticing that if I'm with big companies, it's really hard to move up, and if I'm with small companies, there's room for progression and
advancement.
Yeah. And right now, it looks pretty good. Like if you're a smart guy and a hard worker, they'll give you a shot.
It's not too hard.
Yeah, it's not too hard. There's not a lot of competition.
What about housing? You moved out here from California. I guess you were living with your dad, your family.
In the beginning, yes, family.
I know you rent a place. You were renting a place south of town. Expensive?
Compared to California, not expensive.
Not expensive
at all.
At all. That's what everybody here. Like a brand new house. If you want to build a brand new house, brand new everything, it's like $300,000. And everybody that's from here kind of complains because that's so expensive. And I get it because 10 years ago, that same house was $120,000.
And I've heard about that.
Right.
Yes.
It was 100. So I understand the people that are from here are complaining about that. But the thing is, like, we're from California. You can't get a Cracker Jack box for $500,000. Nothing. A 1-bedroom condo is $500,000. So I found it. Everybody from here complains about the height. Now, apartments are really expensive.
And I think they just went up 33% here in Midland and 30% in Odessa. The rent just went up.
So I know people that have 2-bedroom apartments here, $1,800 a month.
Yeah.
So all the extra money, a lot of people, if you're moving here and expecting to get a nice apartment, every extra penny you're going to make is going to go to rent.
Yeah.
That's kind of how it is, unless you figure something out. But a lot of these companies, they have man camps. They'll pay for you to stay somewhere. For free. Yeah. So I came back from California. I was on the plane and I sat next to a guy from Colorado, from Arizona, and he flies in. He works 28 days. He flies out 7 days off. Flies in 28 days, and for 28 days he works every single day for 28 days, and he lives on a man camp. He has zero expenses. They pay for his food, they pay for his housing, and they think they give him $100 a day for incidentals. Incidentals. Right. It's crazy, huh?
Yeah. I've thought about doing the same thing. It's just going back to California and staying in the man camp. It's not that bad.
It's not that bad. And you work 14 on, 14 off, or 14 on, 7 off?
Oh, 14 on, 14 off.
14 on, 14 off. So you could live somewhere else, fly in, work 14 days, and fly out.
Yeah, it's possible.
It's possible. There's a lot of people doing it.
Yeah.
Because there's also, being here in Midland, there's a lot of people living in RVs all over the place. There's a lot of people living in travel trailers. There's people here that are renting their garages out. It's an incredible shortage of housing.
Yeah.
Incredible shortage of housing. Even, I'm going to guess, I haven't been out there, but I guess the man camps are probably totally full also.
Some that I've Well, yeah, they're actually full.
They're full.
Yeah.
Because I know a guy here that has a crew that he brings in. He keeps 4 rooms at a man camp, no matter what. Even if he only has 3 guys from out of town,
Yeah.
he still pays for that 4th room, just in case, keep so somebody else doesn't buy it. Yeah, it's crazy like that.
It's that crowded right
But
now.
all in all, you moving from California to Midland's been a decent move.
Yeah.
Career-wise,
Yeah, career-wise, yeah,
It's a
it's the
good
best decision I ever made.
best decision. Yeah.
Honestly, like, yeah, career-wise, like, would have never made this kind of money in California at all.
Never.
My education and, history back there, no.
Yeah. Even if you made good money back there, you blow it all.
Yeah, there's so much to do in California, man. You have Six Flags, you have amusement parks, all
Yeah.
kinds of, and I don't know, there's a million things to do out there, a million
Yeah.
things.
And if you want to do something here, there's a lot of stuff to do here, but it's all 5 hours away. So-
Exactly.
So the reason they call this place Midland is because it's 5 hours from everywhere. It's 5 hours to El Paso, 5 hours to San Antonio, 5 hours to Austin, 5 hours to Dallas. The closest thing we have is about an hour and a half north is Lubbock,
Lubbock.
where Texas Tech is, and it's kind of a college town.
Uh-huh.
But other than that, you fly in, you fly out, or you drive out to do anything crazy fun. But it seems like recently they've been bringing things in.
Well, I feel like the town is growing. So they're adding more things. There's more. I know apartment complexes. All kinds of
No, but I
things.
mean, like they built that when I first moved here, that Wagner Noel
Oh, okay,
theater wasn't
okay,
there.
yeah, okay.
You know what I mean? Like, so you got who's that comedian Fluffy?
Man, I forgot his name.
Yeah, that guy comes through.
Yeah, that fluffy guy.
Yeah, he comes through like twice a year. Paul Rodriguez comes through, the comedian, once or twice a year. All the big bands come through once or twice a year.
Yeah, even in Spanish music, there's a lot of good bands that come all the way out here, and it kind of amazes me. Like, wow, they're actually performing over here, and you get sort of like front seats compared to California. It's no way you could get front seats. And
The one I just saw a billboard, Nicky Jam's coming here.
yeah,
And-
exactly.
And
Like-
everybody at my work is like, who? What are you talking about? I'm like, he's giant.
Yeah.
He's huge. And then some guy showed me something from Google. It's like, he's only worth $5 million. I'm like, so what? Because he plays in places like Argentina and Colombia, and so he doesn't make a lot of money, but he plays for 100,000 people.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen him play for hundreds of thousands of people down in Medellin. So he's a big act in the Latin world, even though they don't sell the CDs like they do in the United States or whatever it is. But yeah, all in all, for me, I think it's been a good move. Career-wise, it's been a decent move. You know, you get mired. It seems like a lot of the guys that switch around and you get a wide variety of jobs. It seems like they do a lot better. And then some people, like what I've done, is I got a job at one company, just stayed there. Like I haven't switched around and stuff, and kind of get mired in that. But all in all, I think it's been a good move. I picked up this house we're recording from a HUD auction. So I got this on the cheap. On the super cheap
compared to California.
Compared to California, I bought this during the last boom, and I paid about $75,000 cheaper than the cheapest house that sold on this street. So it was a pretty good deal. Well, that's all I wanted to ask you about today. Hopefully, I'm going to put this up on the internet, and people that are thinking about moving to West Texas, or people that message me all the time, they can see it and say, all right, someone else did it. This is what to expect. Kind of high rent if you're not on man camp. Bust your ass. You're going to be out in the middle of nowhere.
Yes.
It's super hot.
Super hot.
But if you're willing to work hard and you are decently smart and you keep your nose clean, you can make a career out of this.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
It'll take you somewhere. That's for sure.
All right. Hey man, I appreciate you coming in.
No problem, bro.
Thanks, man.